And Lionel Messi scored his 9th goal in just 6 matches in the US yesterday, thanks to a low strike from 30 yards out.
Into Messi, advantage play. Messi driving forward. Messi from distance! What can he not do? We are watching greatness.
Joining us now for more on this is US soccer writer Brian Skiretta joins us. Hi, Brian, how are you?
Very good. Thanks for having me on, guys.
It's our pleasure. Let me ask, we knew that Lionel Messi would be absolutely flying when he went to the MLS. Are you surprised just how well he's doing, or because he's the greatest player ever to put on a pair of football boots, you sort of expected this anyway?
I expected this to an extent. I think when you started adding in Tata Martino as the head coach, and then Busquets and Alba, and just a lot of familiar settings that he's been used to. They've done a lot to put him into his comfort zone, and I think it's all really worked out nicely, to say the least.
Have Miami now become one of the favourites since they've, as you said there, Alba and Busquets and Messi? They're the favourites now to win the lot.
They're favourites to win the League's Cup, which is the tournament that they're doing right now. It's not MLS. It's a tournament that involves all the Liga MX teams and all the MLS teams. So it's kind of like a group stages, knockouts. When MLS play resumes, if they get into the playoffs, I think they become certainly possible to win it. But look, they have a 12-point gap to make to get into the playoffs, like 11 games remaining. So it's going to be very, very difficult for them to do that. I think next year they're the favorites, but this year they're probably the favorites to win Leagues Cup, and then also U.S. Open Cup, which is the American equivalent of the FA Cup, which is in its 100, which was founded in 1914 or something like that. It's an old tournament, so he has a lot to play for now. But winning MLS this year is going to be tough just because of the position they're in.
Brian, how have the opposition teams welcomed him? And the reason I say that is because when you're on the pitch with someone who is that good and arguably the greatest, you can be a little bit overwhelmed. And when we've seen it over here, certainly on social media, after every single game, it's like one of the opposition are asking him for an autograph, asking for his free shirt. How have the opposition been towards him?
Yeah, it's funny. I think a lot of the people who've been googly eyed have been kind of the Argentines, because there is such an Argentine presence in MLS. It was Julian Carranza last night. A guy who came out of Newell's Old Boys, the system where Messi initially started. It is something to see because of the heavy South American presence in MLS. But I think it's going to be interesting to see when league play resumes how much that keeps up. Right now, everyone's still getting their feet wet in the whole thing. But he's the biggest star to ever come into this league. But there have been some big stars, throughout the years, but just nothing at this level.
No. What's it done for the sport? How much has it raised the profile? Obviously, you've got NBA, NFL, baseball. Those big hitters are never going to be moved. So, what's it done for football over there in America?
Oh, it's huge. I mean, it's selling a lot of the packages, the Apple TV packages that you have to do to watch the league, and it's a global package. So people around the world are now able to tune in, selling a lot of tickets, which is good, and and it's also making a lot of players want to come here, and not just older veterans too. Like they are Inter Miami last week signed 2 Argentine youth internationals who were very highly coveted young players, particularly had a lot of European options, but the fact that they could go play with Messi for a couple of years, maybe before they went to Europe, became a more enticing option. So, it's raising the profile. It's getting a lot more eyeballs on it too. And, the goal is that Messi's not going to be around forever, and that, after a while when he leaves, that, not everyone's going to stick around that are newcomers globally, but hopefully enough will. I mean, it bucks the trend of how MLS was handling. They were going more toward younger players from South America, like your Tati Castellanoses and Miguel Almirons, who've since gone on to Europe and done big things. But they haven't really gone the older route. But now that they have, it is everyone now. You have to make exceptions, obviously, and Messi's just like it's just a once in a lifetime kind of a deal because of his global popularity.
Brian, when does the season end? The reason I asked that, I'm curious as to if Messi will go out on loan to maybe a European club.
The season goes through it goes through November with the playoffs, and then preseason usually rolls around in January. And then Inter Miami's qualified now for the CONCACAF Champions League, which starts in February. So, unless they get knocked out, if they don't qualify for the playoffs, maybe that door is open. But this deal is so lucrative and so unique and so tied in. I just don't really see that happening. I think he could probably use the break and then go into MLS season, the Champions League, and then that up for the next summer when the Copa Libertadores, the Copa America is coming to the United States, with the chance to put the Argentine national team here. So he's got a big calendar next year. I think he might just lay low.
Okay. Brian, listen, thank you for coming on. We can, of course, see you on YouTube. I can see you're not wearing a Messi shirt. Do you have one? Do you own one with his name on the back?
No, I don't. My jersey collection is pretty limited, but I would, actually, it's funny. I'm in Italy right now, and even in non-tourist areas, I've already counted many. So it's actually phenomenal.
Yeah, I bet it is. It's crazy. That's what you get when you sign Lionel Messi. Listen, Brian, always a pleasure. Thank you so much for your time. We'll speak to you in a bit.
Thank you very much, guys. Anytime.
Thanks, pal. What do you make of the fact that Lionel Messi's 36 and he's playing his football over in America at the moment? His 9th goal in 6 matches. Do you look at that and go, what a waste? We haven't got that long left of Messi on this footballing planet.
I saw what happened at PSG. Didn't like it, the way he was treated. Maybe his performances weren't great, but he looks like he's the Messi that we know. I love the fact he's over there. What more has he got to prove to anyone? He's won Champions Leagues. He's won leagues. He's won the biggest thing there is to win, the World Cup. He's performed in that World Cup as well. He's got nothing to prove to anyone. So if he feels like it's now about...
It's not about proving it, but just as a football fan, personally, I'm a little bit disappointed.
I don't mind him being... No.
talkSPORT Drive with Andy Goldstein. Monday to Friday afternoon from 4 on AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.